Welcome to Sext. Why sex ed videos? Look, sexual education is a really broad topic. Ideally, it should cover anatomy, puberty, assigned sex, gender, emotional and physical complications, the mechanics of sex, and I am talking about all forms of sex, not just traditional intercourse. Sexual safety, reproduction, contraception, consent, boundaries, and societal pressures. Honestly, that's probably not even a complete list. There's a lot that falls under this topic. How school systems teach or don't teach these topics varies widely, and the same can be said for parents. My mom gave me the sex talk 4 times before I told her I thought I probably had it. As embarrassing as that was, I was one of the lucky ones. Some of my friends got weird truncated talks about the birds and the bees with no actual information in them, and others didn't even get the sex talk at all. They were just left to pick up information from their peers, which is honestly like the world's worst game of telephone. I knew this one kid who grew up thinking that women had 2 vaginas because he'd heard there was more than one hole down there. Studies have shown that the better our sexual education is, the better our sexual health is. That includes everything from fewer accidental pregnancies to lower rates of STIs to a better understanding of ourselves and our own sexual identities. Furthermore, talking about sex makes us all more comfortable talking about sex with our sexual partners, with our families, with people we need to get information from, your doctor, with everyone. It leads to better sexual communication, and sexual communication in turn leads to better relationships and fewer incidences of rape and assault. We all want less rape and assault, right? It's a win-win. Now, there are a lot of school districts that have chosen to take the path of teaching abstinence only, and I get that. Full disclosure, the only way to make 100% certain that you avoid all possible negative ramifications of having sex is to not have sex. Period. Ever. People who preach abstinence only aren't wrong about that. But the reality is that humans have sex. Listen to this. A study released in 2006 found that 95% of Americans have sex before marriage, and what's interesting to me, that percentage remained constant, not just in the younger populations, but in the older ones as well. What that means is that not only do people have sex before marriage, that's not a new thing. It's been going on for forever. People have sex. They always have, and they always will. Which means that the responsible thing to do is learn about it. Learn about yourself. Learn about the ways that you can treat both yourself and your sexual partners with responsibility and courtesy. Educate yourself. It's a really important topic. So, that's what we're here for. 2 more things before I move off the intro. First, YouTube has some pretty strict decency standards. And since I want all of you to be able to see this, there are going to be times that I'm going to be talking about perfectly normal, perfectly typical, perfectly natural, absolutely nothing to be ashamed about parts of the human anatomy, and I won't be able to show you what those look like in any kind of realistic sense. Don't worry, we'll work around it. I just wanted to let you know in advance so you didn't wonder why I kept pulling out bananas. The second thing is that no matter how much I talk, you're still going to have questions, and that's totally normal. If you're not shy, or if you have an anonymous YouTube account, feel free to hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, you can feel free to DM me on Facebook or Twitter. I'm here to help you learn, so ask me anything you want to. Okay, ready to get started? Head on over to our first video on gender.